What's up, YouTube family? It's your boy D, and I'm back with another video. We got a high taper all around, taper the beard. And so we're gonna get straight into that. As you guys see, I'm making my official first initial guideline. So that's always key, is creating that first guideline. So we're gonna jump straight into it. And so I created my first guideline with my clipper open. Then I went in with my one and we started to make the blend start to stand out. So we're gonna go with our one open and we're gonna create that first initial blend, but to bust out those heavy weight lines. And then we're gonna jump to our half. I've already cut it down with a 1.5, so that gets you a clear note of where we started. And so with that one, I'm going to just continue to create that blend, create that guide so that everything looks kosher, everything looks the part. We want that blend to always blend completely from top to bottom, bottom to top. And that's the key part of making a really clear cut haircut. And those are the details that really matter. I do apologize for my big broad ass shoulder and elbow all on the way. But as I'm walking you through this, guys, you kind of just see where we're at and what we're working with. And so we're going to continue to work on this with our one, and then we're going to jump to our half, and we're going to do the same thing, creating distinguishment between the top to the bottom of the fade, creating that clean fade look to where everything is connected, everything is combined, everything has been one central. So yes, guys, we're working this fade. I'm using the tip of my blade. I'm using both corners of the blade to make sure the fade is detailed and very well blended. That is a key part of haircuts. And so I'm gonna work into this beard now using the same method that I use when I'm cutting, which is starting open, creating our initial guideline, and we're just getting all that hair out. As you can see, it's already gonna start to blend. I'm gonna go back with my trimmers, go ahead and clean that bald up above it and in between the taper so that everything is well blended. So it's gonna create that dark contrast. Once you do that, you start to see the blend start to come together. And so we're gonna work our one guard open and we're gonna start to detail and blend that fade in and get that very big, thick weight line out. And as you see, it starts to blend. That's what you're looking for right there. Your midway point, continue to blend, but move up a little bit. And then you go to your close and then you create that initial guide. And so that way you can go to your next guard and create those guidelines that you need. Those are the key points, the key emphasis to these things. They make a huge difference. And ultimately it creates for that well-blended haircut. So using my OG glass here, I'm going to prep that beard line and that neckline. Got the old ladies walking by, they always speak. They're so sweet. So that we can create that line. And I'm gonna go back through and bald it out and we're gonna jump onto the next portion, which is lining that side. So I always keep my hand at a still perfect movement, keep that blade tilted, and I start from the bottom and work my way up. Sometimes you can work your way from the top to bottom. It just depends on what is more comfortable for you, but I go bottom to top because it's easier. Using my Stylecraft trimmers, these trimmers are great. They don't miss. It's kind of like Kobe in the fourth in the clutch. Just don't miss. It's just one of those things right there. So now we're gonna work on that neckline, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do that by using my point finger to hold that ear back. I'm gonna start from the bottom, and then as I work my way around the ear, I'm going to only use the tip of the blade. You do not need the whole blade. You can just use the tip. Now, this is the key part right here because a lot of people can go heavy. We want that just to tuck behind his ear, not too high, not too low. We're gonna keep it right where it is. So you guys see that I'm following using the tip of my blade, and then we're gonna make it all connect. And so you're just gonna boom, swoop. Like you're doing a C cup, but once you get comfortable, you kind of find a flow and you just flow with it. That makes it easier for what you're trying to do. It makes it more of a clean look in the end. That's what you want. That is the initial goal with every haircut, is that clean cut look. That is the key point in fading and detailing and lining. That's the key point. So as we work our way into the hairline, this is going to be very focused, vital point. So as I always tell you guys, Work your way from middle to left, back to your right, back to the middle. That will help you distinguish on where you're at with your hairline, where you may need to work on. And it also gives you a blueprint to stick and stand by. This helps for a clean hairline. A lot of people, they tend to drop their wrists when they're lining. So sometimes the line may be off because when you were getting on that left corner, you dropped your wrist. Keep your wrist level, but by using the method of middle to left, middle to right, you readjust and you see back where you are by keeping that line crispy. That's the key part to this. That makes everything so much better, is being able to understand that. If you can understand that and do that, you will never have any issues. So I'm working on his vertical bars here. I've done my middle to my left, and now I'm just defining it and making it crispy. That's the only thing that matters. You're doing this because you want everything to look good for your client. What they want is a clean, crispy haircut. That's the only thing that matters. So we take our time, we work our way through our movements, and then we get to our point of emphasis, and then we clean it up and we go on to the next. It's kind of like knocking off a to-do list. You have a to-do list, so you do one thing, then you do the other, and next thing dots have connected. That is the key part of cutting hair. And so when I'm lining, I tend to take my time with doing this. I don't use my whole blade. I use my tip of the blade. I use the corners so that everything is efficiently flowing. To be the best, you have to do it to an extreme level. You see that on the side, it looks clean, it looks clear, it looks cut. That is the key portion of what we're working on. So I'm gonna get ready to prep his beard so I can start lining his beard. Um, Before I do that, I'm going to go to my other side now. Adjustment of the head to my level, combing, and as you guys can see, I'm gonna work my way around, keeping my wrists leveled, but my to-do list is clean and it's clear and cut. And by a to-do list, I'm marking off every checkpoint of this haircut on my list, the things I need to do in my mental note so that I can get to a clean. So you can see I'm working my way around. My wrist is level, my arm is level. We're keeping everything up, but I turn him towards me, but you guys can still see that view where I do not drop my wrist. I hit that corner and I come down on it. And so here I'm going to show you guys kind of how I do this using that tip of that blade on that corner right there. Boom. Working my way around. Once I get to this vertical bar, I will spin him back a little bit so you guys can see. And then we connect it at the top using the tip of that blade again. We're not using the whole blade on that corner. We're using the tip of the blade. That creates that look that you want. Initially, it gets it to be everything connected. So I'm just cleaning up where I can see it's a little bit, needs a little bit of touching up. And that's why you always detail your cuts, man. Details your cuts to the fine line. Make sure that everything is connected. You see that taper? It's nice, well blended, well bursted from top to bottom, light, dark to contrast. And that's the key part. You want your client's haircut to look good. My client here, he's never fails. He's always like, you never miss. Um, At this point of the haircut, we're just gonna focus on the details. The details of the cut really matter. So I'm just gonna go through before I apply enhancements. In certain areas, we're going to detail, pretty much just cross our T's and dot our I's, just make sure everything is looking good. Overdoing it. That's the key portion of cutting hair, and it keeps people coming back. So I've never really showed this, so I'm gonna focus in on this for this quick moment. And I'm using a Red by Kiss. Some people would call it liner. Use eyeliner. It's similar, but just in a form of a tan color, which for this cut, which you're applying a dark enhancement, will make it pop. Hence why women use blush and certain colors to make things pop. The look of the enhanced look. So just follow in between the lines that you've already created. You know, make that line like not super thick, but just right. I don't know how to really say it better than that. And then just make sure that you got everything in alignment with the actual cut of it. So you really just overlook and you just pay attention to this style, and when applying enhancements, make sure you apply them right. And I'm going to use the Red by Kiss titanium spray. It's black, so it's a temporary hold, but it dries fast. I was running out here, but it was enough to get the job done. And then I go back and I usually spray a little bit of enhancements, fibers on there. And so that's why you see me shaking the bottle, but you got to just to get it going. Not overly applying, but keeping a safe distance. You can see it coming out. So you don't want to be too close. Just be where you got to be. And you know what it is that you're focusing in on so that you make sure this goes in alignment with the cut. And as you see, I'm using the card and I'm applying right on the line that I drew with the tan pencil, the tan liner pencil. So you do that, and then you kind of take the trimmer and you push up on the tan line. That creates the initial guide for that crispiness and the enhanced look while applying enhancements. Initially, it's gonna give that real clean look. Then it just gives that haircut the pop that it needs. Once you kind of that with your trimmers, you go back and you use your razor. That creates that look that you want, and more so the client desired look that he wants. So for me, I kind of follow a basis of stick within the guidelines, follow the blueprint. If it's not messed up, you fix it. Stay in that focus point of what it is that you're trying to do and the goal that you're trying to meet. So this cut is almost through. Pretty much gone through the details of everything that you guys may need to know or may want to know. Make sure you do like and comment. Okay, so we've gone through this haircut and now I'm just detailing it more. I always focus in on the details because details do matter. As I've pretty much made that hands line with the line pencil, the tan line pencil, I've made it go away. Now we're just gonna go back through and make sure we just clean it up with my Stylecraft trimmers. And the reason I use different trimmers is because some of my trimmers hit a little bit harder than the other ones, and they do more of a job that I need to be done, and I know which ones will do what I need it to do. And so that's a key point when you're cutting hair. Having an arsenal of different trimmers and maybe clippers that you may need. And so that for me helps essentially achieve that look. So we're gonna use our razor, and I always kind of with the initial guideline. When using your razor, be sure to pull the skin in direction of the direction that you're going. Stretching the skin, that look that you want to create that hard line on the beard line, especially when you want it like a gold look. You know, a lot of men like their beard line real crispy and real sharp and gold on their face. So you kind of get that look by pulling the skin. So you can see here, skin opposite way, not too hard, but just enough to create that look. And then we're creating that beard line within the usage of my razor. And so now you're looking at this cut, you're seeing the final finished product, and basically just going through the guidelines of sticking to what you know, the blueprint, take time going into the details of the cut. So that's pretty much it for this cut. I've gone over everything. If you got questions, make sure you comment. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what y'all think about this one. I took my time with this one. I was eager to shoot this video. So I'm loving the way the cut turned out. And my client, as always, we're consistent. And like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Let's go.